Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This video is a continuation of what I wore on a recent trip to London and then Paris. So in the first video, which I will leave linked above and below, I went to London. I was there for around 4 full days. And then I ended up taking the train down to Paris. I was in both cities for their respective art weeks, for Frieze London and then in Paris for Art Basel Paris. And it was in mid-October, so it was my absolute favorite time of year to be there. It always just aligns really well that it's art week as well as my birthday. So selfishly, I kind of use it as a reason to see a bunch of really incredible art, as well as celebrate my birthday with friends and family, which is always fun. So yeah, I have videos from art videos specific to the art fairs and the galleries and stuff that I saw. If you want to check those out on my art channel, I will leave links to that in the description box below. But in this video, I really want to run down all of my different outfits that I wore in Paris. So I actually stayed in Paris with my sister. She lives in Poland, and so it was really lucky of me and very nice of her to fly over from Poland to meet me in Paris and stay with me for a week. I took the train down on Monday morning and I flew out on Sunday to head back to America. So it was basically a week. Really fantastic time. We stayed in Le Marais in this incredible Airbnb. It was so gorgeous. And while we did see a lot of art, we actually also took a full day to go shopping, which I never do, but because of the terrace and everything, I just had a lot of stuff on my wish list that I really wanted to check out. And I'm usually with my husband, who is not as into shopping, so it was really fun to just have that kind of girl time with my sister and go shopping, go to Dover Street Market and things like that. So I'm actually going to do a whole separate video where I highlight some of the really incredible pieces that I purchased in Paris. Just because I think it deserves its own video, because it's really good stuff, you guys. But you will see a little sneak peek of some of the things in this video. But I just wanted to give a little intro that gave a little context as to why I was there, when I was there, because I do think it helps inform why I wore the outfits that I did. So let's walk through. I'm going to scooch over here so you can see the thumbnails. Let's start out with my travel outfit, because I think it's always key to have a really great travel outfit. Also, if you haven't seen my art of packing video, I go into really intense detail around my process of packing. And so while this video, everything may appear very effortless, I actually put a lot of thought into all of the different outfits and things that I wanted to wear to different events and whatnot. So if you want to kind of get the inside baseball on how I plan outfits for trips, you can watch that video. But yeah, so I took the Eurostar from London to Paris. It's my absolute favorite way to get to Paris. I would take a train any day over flying. I just find it to be so much more enjoyable and so much more convenient. So I didn't have to worry as much about wearing super bulky clothes to try to cut down on the weight in my suitcase, because you can pretty much pack as much as you want and bring it on the Eurostar within reason, of course. You just have to be able to carry all your bags and stuff yourself. So I went for this COS set, this merino wool COS set, the merino wool cardigan in this beautiful gray color, as well as the wool barrel leg pants, also in gray. I just think this is a very comfortable but very chic outfit, because I didn't know when we would be able to check into our Airbnb. Originally, the time was 5 p.m. or something crazy. So I was like, well, maybe we'll be running around Paris and going shopping and stuff. So I wanted to look chic enough where if we needed to just drop our bags somewhere and go shopping or something, I would feel really comfortable in my outfit. But of course, I also wanted to be comfortable. So I am wearing my featherweight cashmere top from Quince, which has been such a staple in my wardrobe this whole winter. I cannot recommend this enough. I hope it is in stock when you're watching this video, because it's really gone in and out of stock this whole time, but I also was recovering from a blister still, so I am wearing my flattered Bon loafers in the black leather just because they're so incredibly comfortable. I always recommend having some pair of shoes that you can wear when you have a blister, because it's inevitable when you're walking as much as I do, going to see galleries and doing all these things. Like, no matter how well you prepare your foot in terms of like wrapping or socks or whatever, like, it's so nice to have a backup pair that you can wear when in need. So I wore those, and then I ended up wearing my Rue Sophie Grand scarf coat because it's just a gorgeous black coat, and I love the scarf feature of it because if I do get really cold on the train, which it actually still did get cold on the train, you can kind of use it as like a little blanket, which is nice. But when I arrived in Paris, it was around 10:30, and then by the time we were able to drop our bags off at Soho House, it was around 11:30, and then we had a really beautiful breakfast there, and then we were actually able to check into our Airbnb really early, I think around 12 o'clock, which was wonderful. So we actually just went to the Airbnb, dropped our luggage off, checked in, like unloaded everything, and then I changed into really cozy clothes because frankly we just wanted to like run errands and hang out. And this is one of my favorite things to do when I get to Paris, is just like go to the grocery store, you know, pick up dinner, a really casual dinner from Wild and the Moon, which has really incredible vegan food, and just kind of spend a night in and hang out. And so I just had on my chunky gray oversized cashmere sweater from COS, my Citizens of Humanity little corduroy barrel pants, and then my flattered Bon loafers. This is just such an easy, like, go-to running errands outfit that's comfortable. We weren't going over any extreme distances. We were staying in Le Marais, so everything was quite close. But yeah, I just wanted to be comfortable and cozy, and we had a nice little dinner at the Airbnb, and then started our adventures the next day, which was a Tuesday. Tuesday was what I designated as our shopping day. So I did this because a lot of the galleries and art fairs, my ticket to the art fair, or my entrance via like my press pass to the art fair, I don't think was until Wednesday. So I wanted to ease us into the trip and kind of start fun and start small and not freak my sister out too bad by making her run to like a bajillion galleries in one day. So we went to Dover Street Market, among other places. Again, I'm gonna do a whole separate video about shopping in Paris because I have like the places I went that I really recommend, the things that I think are worth like buying in Paris versus not. Spoiler alert, Dover Street Market was like by far my favorite. We spent hours there. It is the most incredible store. I just love it. We of course have one in New York, but the one in Paris is huge, and you can just like truly, you get lost in it. Like there were parts that we didn't even see and like went back on other days because we were like, oh my god, we completely missed that whole section. So I wanted to be comfortable, but I wanted to look chic because of course we're going into all these really cool clothing stores. So I wore this gorgeous wool dress from the brand Fforme, which I am obsessed with. And secret, I'm actually really obsessed with this. The puppies are barking, hold on. So I ended up wearing this dress from the brand Fforme. It's like a long wool black dress that is so stunning. I love this brand. Spoiler alert, or I guess it's not even a spoiler, it's a fun fact. Like you can buy, this brand is like thousands and thousands of dollars on Net-a-Porter. You can get this brand very well priced on the second-hand market, particularly on the RealReal. I got this dress for around, I think, $200 on the RealReal, and it's just such a great like everyday basic. I love a long black dress, you guys know. I think where the sleeves hit, it is super flattering, so I was really pleased with this dress. I just wore it with my little sock boots from Mango, which are so comfortable, and again, just a go-to staple of mine. I don't know if you can still get them, but I'll try to link something similar if you can. And then I wore my Rue Sophie cream coat over the top because I really wanted to pop against the full black ensemble. And then I have my Coach oversized Kiss Luxe clutch bag, which Love this bag. I loved wearing it on the trip. It was actually super practical for travel because even though it's really large, you can wear it over your shoulder. It closes completely, so it's super secure. I didn't have to worry about like pickpocketers or someone trying to like rip it off my arm or anything. I just really love this bag, and I could fit a ton of stuff in it, which is great. I could even put like a cardigan or an extra pair of shoes in it if I wanted to. So this bag was absolutely fantastic, and we just had the best time at Dover Street Market. And then that night we actually went to Cafe Marley, which is right next to the Louvre. My sister had never been, and crazily enough, actually no one was allowed out in front. I guess the Louvre is like closed on Tuesdays, and they had just had the huge robbery, so we were like the only people there that could look out over this like uninterrupted courtyard of the glass pyramids and stuff. So that was even more special, and it was just a really great, like our first real kind of full day in Paris, and it was really fun. So then the second day in Paris, this was a Wednesday, we started off by going to see galleries in the Champs-Elysees. And these are galleries that are in these really beautiful, a lot of them like super old, gorgeous houses. I'll try to insert some video and stuff so you can see, but definitely on the more like fancy side of things. Also, all the luxury stores around here are like super fancy. So I definitely wanted to like elevate and dress up a little bit more. So I ended up wearing this set, which I featured in my COS runway collection video. I got this hooded silk top and then this draped silk midi skirt from it in this sort of army green color, and it's really comfortable, super flattering, very like lightweight, which was also really nice because it actually wasn't that cold that day. In fact, I didn't even have to wear a coat over this. I just wore my AD over the knee boots and then again my large Kiss Luxe bag, and I felt perfectly comfortable. And so yeah, this was definitely one of the more warm days. So just having like the lighter silk fabric, it enabled me to still wear layers and like be covered comfortably, but not be too hot and not having to wear a jacket, which was nice. So I really enjoyed this outfit just because I felt it really matched the elevation and the style of all of the galleries that we were going to that morning. And then that afternoon was actually my first day to see Art Basel Paris via my press pass. And so I was going by myself. My sister had a ticket for the following day. So I actually knew I was just going to go in and get a bunch of work done. So I wanted to look at as many booths as I could, get some close-up video, just kind of like analyze the situation. And I wasn't taking photos or anything, so I honestly just wanted to be really comfortable. So I went for my go-to outfit, which may look familiar from my London video, but I wore these amazing, some of my favorite pants of the season, corduroy pants from Uniqlo that are in a navy, very comfortable, matching navy sweater. I just wanted to frankly be really understated and just kind of blend in with the crowd. I wore my flattered Ellis suede loafers, which I love the boxiness to them and the asymmetry of the toe. I just think they're really special. And then my Savette symmetry chain Pouchette, because I honestly was just bringing like my phone, my wallet. I didn't even need like my bigger DJI camera or anything. So yeah, I wore that, and that was pretty much all of Wednesday. I think we had a pretty casual dinner that night. I actually can't even remember what we did for dinner that night, but it was very chill. And yeah, really loved this little group of outfits. Very different from night to day. So then we come to Thursday, which was another day of seeing galleries. But thankfully we were seeing them just in the neighborhood we're staying in of Le Marais, my absolute favorite neighborhood in Paris. And it actually was raining that day. It was like the least ideal day to be running around and seeing galleries. And normally rain in Paris, it's very like romantic, it's very light, kind of like in London, it's kind of like a little sputtering of rain. This was like a full-blown rain. So I had to really keep that in mind with my outfit, but I think my outfit actually worked out pretty well for it. I wore, I guess, slightly more on the casual side of things. I had on this beautiful maxi skirt from Rue Sophie that I absolutely love. It's super comfortable, stretchy, but like very chic looking. I just had on an oversized white t-shirt from COS, And then I put my Rue Sophie Juarez shawl collar jacket over it because I really love that contrast between like the black and then the white of the t-shirt. And then I just had my mango little flat ankle boots and my Savette Symmetry Pouchette. So this was a great outfit, nothing too like voluptuous, that I didn't want to get wet in the rain. I think it's harder if you're wearing like a longer coat. Mud can kind of like splash up on it and stuff. So I just wanted to be cognizant of that and just really go for like more pared down silhouettes and black. And this was a great look. And we saw some really great shows all over the Marais. And then later that day, I went with my sister to Art Basel again. And this was really fun, to like take her around, but also because she was helping me film and kind of get some of that B-roll footage for my other channel. And so because of that, I wanted to actually look cool and look nice. And we also were able to spend a lot more time there. And so I knew I was going to be speaking to more gallerists and people. And so for that reason as well, I obviously wanted to look presentable too. So I really went all out. I wore this incredible outfit that I will go into even greater detail on in my what I bought in Paris kind of shopping video, but this was almost like a head to toe look from Dover Street Market in terms of clothing. So I have on this beautiful orally gorgeous like gray dress that I absolutely love. It is sleeveless, so I like wearing just like a really thin knit kind of turtleneck underneath. That featherweight one from COS is perfection. And then over the top, I have the most incredible Comme des Garçons blazer. It's like so architectural, and I just loved the sort of like punk rock organicness of this outfit. I felt like it was like a little Victorian chic, especially with like the giant oversized Kiss Luxe bag from, not from COS, from Coach, and my little just like flat leather ankle boots. I felt like, yeah, it was kind of playing with like old and new, which I really like doing when I'm in Paris because there's always this fun juxtaposition in the air for me between like the old world and the Art Nouveau and also like the new grungier sort of styles that you see like younger people wearing and stuff. So I really, really loved this outfit. I think just this architecturalness of the jacket against the beautiful architecture of the Grand Palais. It was just absolute perfection. And I just had the best time wearing this because frankly, it was just like a piece of art. It's so, so, so beautiful. I can't wait to just show you the gorgeousness up close of this jacket in the shopping video because it is truly an incredibly, incredibly, incredibly special piece. And yeah, just going to the Grand Palais, you totally understand why like Chanel and major places like that have their fashion shows there year after year because it is absolutely stunning. And I'm just so happy that it's open again. So that was fantastic. And then Friday, we made the trip out to the Fondation Louis Vuitton, which is in the giant park in Paris. It's a huge, huge, huge park. I'm completely blanking on the name of it, but it does take a little while to get to. I highly recommend, especially if you're going from Le Marais and then taking the subway out, just taking the subway because it's quite quick. It's like 45 minutes on the subway. If you were to take a car, it would just take forever, and because traffic was very, very bad in Paris the whole time we were there. So we knew that that was going to be kind of like a full day situation just because like getting out to the park and then going through the whole museum. And I'm going to do a whole video about the museum visit because, and not to get too deep into like the art details, which I'll save for my other channel, but the Fondation Louis Vuitton is very unique as a museum. Architecturally, it's designed by Frank Gehry, who's one of my favorite architects and just does really incredible things all over the world. Think like Disney Music Hall and whatnot, or the Guggenheim Museum in Spain. So just, yeah, incredible pieces. You know his work immediately when you see it. It's so iconic. And he did the Louis Vuitton Foundation. And what's unique about this museum is that they have a special exhibits and they don't have any permanent collection. So unlike most museums where you might have like a smaller kind of special traveling exhibit, that, you know, is a few rooms or whatnot. You always have like the permanent collections, which are kind of there, and like they may rotate a few things out, but for the most part, you can always see the same kind of stuff in the permanent collection. But this one, there's no permanent collection. It's always a very, very special show, and it takes over 4 floors, like the entire museum space. So not only is it a special show, but it's one of the most actually, I would say, in-depth shows about a particular artist or a group of artists or whatever the theme is. So this was a Gerhard Richter show. He's a German artist, abstract expressionist artist, and took over all 4 floors of the museum. Like I said, so we were there for hours. We also had lunch there at Le Franc, which is the Frank Gehry restaurant there, which is so, so, so good. So I wanted to be really comfortable because it was less about like honestly taking photos and video and stuff and more about just actually enjoying the museum. So I ended up wearing my go-to comfort outfit, which was that oversized chunky cashmere sweater from COS in navy with my navy corduroy pants from Uniqlo, loving this outfit. Then my Rue Sophie Ayana collarless handmade jacket, which they ripped the button off of. I'm very upset actually. I checked my coat in coat check because it got a little warmer when we arrived, and they gave it back to me, and I put it on and I looked down and a button was missing, and then which clearly it was not when I gave it to them, and I just bought this coat, so like the buttons weren't loose or anything. There's no reason. I think it must have snagged on a door or something when they were bringing it into coat check, but I slipped my hand into the pocket and they put the button in the pocket. So I need to get that coat fixed. If you're looking at the cutaways and you're like, you're missing a button. Well, they did that. This was not because the coat was in poor quality. The coat is amazing quality. I was very upset about it. And then I'm just wearing my flattered Bon loafers because I'm still recovering from that freaking blister. So I'm wearing these, and then my Savette Pouchette, which I love on the chain because it can just hang on my shoulder very carelessly, but it's not too bulky, which I think something like the Kisslux oversized bag in a museum is like a little bit much. They might have actually made me check it just because like it could like hit artwork or something. So I liked having the more petite purse with me. So yeah, so that was a really great outing and just like super, super comfortable. And then our final day together, because again, my sister actually flew out Saturday night really late, and then I ended up flying out Sunday morning. And so our last like real day together was on Saturday, where we continued to see galleries in Le Marais and have lunch and just have a really good time. And I honestly, like, I feel like at this point in the trip, I went off script a little bit, which is impressive because it was the last day and it was very much like a week and a half. But this was one of my favorite outfits, and this was the only one that really wasn't kind of planned. And this was because it had gotten a lot colder. I honestly just wanted to be super comfortable. And so, yeah, I am loving, loving this outfit. I'm wearing my chunky gray COS cashmere oversized kind of roll neck sweater. I'm wearing my Goldie Vana kind of baggy jeans in gray. I'm wearing my Rue Sophie Juarez jacket. And then I actually put the scarf, which goes with the Grand scarf jacket, my other Rue Sophie jacket. I use that wool scarf because it's the same kind of wool material as the Juarez jacket as well. And I just put the scarf over it. So it almost turned that jacket into a scarf coat, which is a really fun trick. And I've actually been wearing that a lot like that. And I just loved that layering. I loved how the gray of the cashmere jumper underneath kind of just like popped out against the black. I loved the gray jeans, kind of get that nice monochrome look. And then I wore these amazing shoes from Nike, which again, I'll go into greater detail about these because they're really special. I got these at Dover Street Market. They're like a sneaker loafer and they're kind of on the chunky side, but I think they look really good with like the baggy pants. And then I wore my Savette Pouchette just to give a little pop of color, but also a little bit of like daintiness and structure to the outfit because the rest of it is quite oversized. So I really like that contrast of having kind of the smaller, like more petite purse with it. But yeah, overall, I think this is actually one of my favorite outfits, but overall, I thought every outfit was perfect for the occasion and what we were doing. And I always just felt really, really comfortable. And the nice thing about Paris too is that I just find the fashion and the vibe to be so similar to New York that I can wear all of these outfits back in New York as well. And I've repeated a lot of them actually since being back. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and this little insight into my trip to Paris. If you have any questions or about anything, about Paris, about travel, about whatever, feel free to just leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. And I will see you all in my next video.